Picture this. It's 7:47 a.m. on a Tuesday that should have been ordinary. I'm rushing through downtown LA with my third espresso of the morning, already running late for a brand partnership meeting that could make or break my little digital marketing agency. My phone is buzzing with notifications, my heels are clicking against the pavement like a frantic heartbeat, and I'm mentally rehearsing my pitch for the 100th time. That's when I see her. Lila Carter, the Lila Carter. 6 feet of effortless elegance wrapped in what I would later learn was a custom Versace dress the color of champagne bubbles. She's stepping out of a black SUV, her honey blonde hair catching the morning light like it's been personally blessed by the sun god himself. Her phone is pressed to her ear, and even from 50 feet away, I can see that signature pout that's launched 1,000 brand deals. I should have been starstruck. I should have been fumbling for my phone to snap a discreet photo. Instead, I'm apparently an idiot who can't walk and gawk simultaneously. 1 second, I'm admiring the way her dress hugs her curves. The next, I'm flat on my ass on the sidewalk, my coffee creating abstract art across the front of that gorgeous dress. The silence that follows is deafening. Even LA traffic seems to pause for this moment of cosmic embarrassment. Oh my God, I whisper, scrambling to my feet. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She's staring down at her dress then, at me, then back at her dress. Her expression is unreadable, which somehow makes it worse. I'm expecting her to scream, to call security, to have me arrested for assault with a deadly beverage. Instead, she starts laughing. Not the polite, media-trained laugh I've heard in her inner interviews. This is real laughter, the kind that comes from your belly and makes your eyes crinkle. The kind that transforms her from an Instagram goddess into something terrifyingly human. Well, she says, her voice carrying that slight rasp that makes her followers weak in the knees. That's one way to make an impression. I'm still standing there like a deer in headlights, my empty coffee cup in one hand, my dignity scattered somewhere on the sidewalk. I'll pay for the dress, I blurt out. I'll pay for dry cleaning or replacement, or it's Versace. She interrupts, amused. I feel the blood drain from my face. How ... how much? About 3,000, the world tilts. $3,000. That's my rent for 2 months. That's my grocery budget for half a year. That's the cost of my entire wardrobe times 3. I start, then stop. There's no point in explaining that I don't have $3,000 lying around, that I eat ramen for dinner more often than I'd like to admit, that this morning's coffee was a splurge I justified by calling it a business expense. She must see the panic in my eyes because her expression softens. Relax, sweetheart. It's just a dress. Just a dress. Easy for her to say when she probably has a closet full of them. I'm Taylor, I manage, extending my hand like we're meeting at a networking event instead of standing over the wreckage of my morning. Lila, she says, taking my hand. Her skin is soft, her grip firm. And you're coming with me? Before I can process what's happening, Lila is steering me toward her SUV. Her publicist, a sharp-faced woman in a power suit, who looks like she could kill someone with her stilettos, is having what appears to be a minor breakdown. Lila, you have the Revolve meeting in an hour, she's saying into her phone. And then lunch with the Fenny people and the photo shoot at 3. Cancel everything, Lila says without looking back. Cancel everything? Lila, this is a multi-million-dollar campaign. Then make it a multi-million-dollar tomorrow. Lila replies, opening the car door. Come on, she tells me. I should say no. I should insist on handling this through insurance companies and lawyers, and all the proper channels. Instead, I climb into the back of her SUV like I'm under some kind of spell. 20 minutes later, we're in her apartment, and calling it an apartment is like calling the Taj Mahal a house. Floor-to-ceiling windows offer a panoramic view of the city, and everything is white and gold and impossibly clean. It's the kind of place that gets featured in Architectural Digest, the kind of place where people like me don't belong. Here, Lila says, tossing me a pair of sweatpants and an oversized t-shirt. Your jeans are soaked. I look down and realize she's right. Coffee isn't just on her dress, it's on my shoes, my jeans, probably in my hair. I'm a walking disaster zone. The bathroom's through there, she continues, gesturing down a hallway. I'll throw your clothes in the wash. This is surreal. I'm in Lila Carter's apartment, about to put on her clothes because I'm an idiot who can't walk in a straight line. This morning, I was worried about making a good impression on a potential client. Now I'm living in some kind of fever dream. When I emerge from the bathroom, Lila is lounging on her couch, scrolling through her phone. She's changed into yoga pants and a crop top, her hair pulled back in a messy bun. Without the dress and the makeup and the carefully curated perfection, she looks normal, beautiful, obviously, but normal. Your jeans are in the wash, she says without looking up. Should be done in about an hour. I should go, I say, even though I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get home in borrowed sweatpants. Where? She asks, finally looking at me. You don't have pants. It's such a ridiculous statement that I laugh despite myself. I can't just stay here. You don't even know me. I know you make excellent coffee, she says with a grin, even if your aim needs work. I feel my cheeks burn. I'm really sorry about that. The dress, I mean. I'll figure out a way to pay you back. She sets down her phone and really looks at me then, her gaze traveling from my borrowed clothes to my coffee-stained hair to my mortified expression. You know what? I have a better idea. I need new content, Lila says, uncurling from the couch. With the fluid grace of someone who's never been clumsy a day in her life. My engagement's been down, and my manager's been on my ass about authentic content. Something real, something raw. I blink at her, not following. Okay, you're a marketer, right? I saw your badge at the coffee shop. Digital marketing, I correct. I have a small agency. Very small. Perfect. She's pacing now, her mind clearly working. I need someone who understands the algorithm but isn't part of the machine. Someone who can help me create content that doesn't look like every other influencer's feed. I don't understand what this has to do with your dress. She stops pacing and looks at me with those impossibly blue eyes. Work with me, help me rebrand, consider it. Community service for the coffee incident. I stare at her. You want me to work for free because I spilled coffee on you? Not for free, she says quickly. I'll pay you, market rate, and... She pauses, a slow smile spreading across her face. I'll throw in some content creation experience you can't get anywhere else. The smart thing would be to say no. To wait for my jeans to dry, go home, and pretend this whole morning never happened. But there's something in her eyes a flicker. A vulnerability beneath the confidence that makes me hesitate. What kind of content? I ask. The kind that matters, she says. The kind that shows who I really am, not just who people want me to be. And that's how I end up agreeing to the most complicated business arrangement of my life. Working with Lila is like being given access to a secret world. Over the next few weeks, I'm pulled into her orbit photo shoots and brand meetings and strategy sessions that blur the line between professional and personal. I learn that she drinks her coffee black because she's diabetic, something she's never mentioned publicly because it doesn't fit her brand. I learn that she has a scar on her shoulder from a childhood accident that she carefully conceals in every photo. I learned that she's been playing a character for so long that sometimes she forgets who she really is underneath all the carefully constructed perfection. The thing about being an influencer, she tells me one afternoon as we're setting up for A rooftop shoot is that you're always performing. Even when you're being authentic, you're performing authenticity. She's wearing a white sundress that costs more than my car, but she's also wearing sneakers because her feet hurt from the heels she had to wear to this morning's meeting. It's these small contradictions that fascinate me, the way she can be, both incredibly sophisticated and surprisingly down to earth. So why do it? I ask, adjusting the reflector to catch the golden hour light. Because I'm good at it, she says simply. And because once you start, it's hard to stop. The money, the attention, the validation, it's addictive. The photographer calls for a break, and Lila flops down beside me on the picnic blanket weave. Spread out for the shoot. She's close enough that I can smell her perfume, something expensive and floral that makes my head spin. What about you? She asks. What's your story? I laugh, but it comes out more bitter than I intended. Nothing as interesting as yours. Small town girl moves to LA to make it big in marketing. Struggles to pay rent, lives on coffee and dreams. That's not nothing, she says, her voice surprisingly gentle. That's brave. It's stupid, I correct. I could have stayed home, gotten a nice safe job, married my high school boyfriend. Instead, I'm here, barely scraping by, working with influencers who spend more on a single dress than I make in a month. She's quiet for a moment, staring out at the city skyline. You know what I think? What? I think you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Before I can ask what she means, the photographer is calling us back to work. But something has shifted between us, a crack in the professional facade that feels dangerous and thrilling. It starts with small things. Text messages that are just a little too flirty, lingering looks during photo shoots. Her hand on my arm when she's explaining a concept, staying there just to be too long. I tell myself it's nothing, that I'm reading too much into friendly gestures, that someone like Lila Carter would never be interested in someone like me. Then we're at a brand event some launch, party for a new skincare line, and she's working the room like the professional she is. Posing for photos, chatting with other influencers, being everything everyone expects her to be. I'm standing by the bar, nursing a glass of wine and trying to blend into the background when she appears beside me. Boring, right? She murmurs, close enough that I can feel her breath against my ear. It's your world, I reply, trying to ignore the way my pulse quickens at her proximity. No, she says, her voice low and intense. This is my job. My world is somewhere else entirely. She's looking at me like she's trying to tell me something, and I'm trying to decipher the message when her manager appears. Lila, darling, you need to mingle. The Glossier people are here, and 5 minutes, Lila says, not taking her eyes off me. Her manager huffs but moves away, and Lila turns back to me. Want to get out of here? I know I should say no. This is a networking event, a chance to make connections that could help my business. But there's something in her eyes, a recklessness that mirrors something I've been feeling building inside me. Where would we go? I ask. Her smile is dangerous. Somewhere real. We end up at a 24-hour diner in a part of LA that definitely doesn't make it onto anyone's Instagram stories. The kind of place with vinyl booths and fluorescent lighting and coffee that tastes like it's been sitting in the pot for hours. Lila looks completely out of place in her designer dress and heels, but she doesn't seem to care. She orders pie and coffee like she belongs here, like she's been coming to places like this her whole life. My first job was in a place like this, she tells me, digging into her apple pie. I was 16, saving up for a car, worked double. Shifts on weekends, came home smelling like grease and coffee. What happened to that girl? I ask. She got discovered, Lila says with a rueful smile. Scout saw her at the mall, said she had the look. Next thing she knew, she was modeling for teen magazines and building a social media following. Do you miss it, the before? She considers this, twirling her fork in the pie filling. One miss. The simplicity, the way life used to be, uncomplicated. And now? Now everything's complicated. She looks up at me and there's something raw in her expression. Even this? You, she says simply, us, whatever this is. My heart stops. OYLA ... I know, she says quickly. I know it's messy. I know I'm not supposed to want things that don't fit the brand. But I can't stop thinking about you. The confession hangs in the air between us like a challenge. I should probably say something responsible, something about maintaining professional boundaries. Instead, I find myself reaching across the table, covering her hand with mine. I think about you too, I whisper. Her fingers intertwine with mine, and it feels like stepping off a cliff. Things change after that night. The flirting becomes more obvious, the tension thick enough to cut with. A knife. During photo shoots, she finds excuses to touch me adjusting my hair, straightening my shirt, letting her fingers linger on my skin. Her followers start noticing. The comments on her posts shift from the usual thirst traps to questions about the cute girl who keeps appearing in the background of her stories. Who's your friend? Becomes a common refrain. She's gorgeous. Relationship goals or friendship goals? Are you dating? Lila laughs off the speculation, but I can see it's affecting her. She's more careful about what she posts, more conscious of how close we stand together. Maybe I should step back, I suggest, after a particularly intense strategy session that ended with us almost kissing in her kitchen. People are talking. Let them talk, she says, but I can hear the uncertainty in her voice. Your brand. Fuck my brand, she says, and the vehemence in her voice surprises both of us. We're standing in her living room, the city lights twinkling beyond her windows, and she looks beautiful and vulnerable and scared. I'm tired, Taylor, she says quietly. I'm tired of pretending to be someone I'm not. I'm tired of dating men for the cameras and going home alone. I'm tired of being afraid of what people will think. What are you saying? She takes a step closer, and I can see the exact moment she makes her decision. I'm saying I want to stop pretending. At least with you. This time, when she leans in, I don't pull away. The kiss is everything I've been imagining and nothing like I expected. It's desperate and sweet and terrifying all at once. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. Willa, I start, but she shakes her head. Don't, she says. Don't think about it. Don't analyze it. Just ... be here with me. And I want to. God, I want to more than I've wanted anything in my life. But I can't ignore the reality of what this means. Your career, I say. Your image. Everything you've built is built on a lie, she finishes. I've been selling this perfect aspirational lifestyle to millions of people, and none of it's real. The boyfriends, the happiness, the confidence, it's all performance. But if people find out, then they find out, she says, and there's steel in her voice now. Maybe it's time. I want to believe her. I want to believe that love is enough, that authenticity matters more than algorithms, that we can build something real in a world obsessed with the artificial. But I'm also terrified. Terrified of the scrutiny, the judgment, the way her world will inevitably consume mine. I need time, I say finally, to think about this. She nods, but I can see the hurt in her eyes. How much time? I don't know. I spend the next week avoiding her calls, throwing myself into work, trying to convince myself that walking away is the smart thing to do. But every time I close my eyes, I see her face. Every time my phone buzzes, I hope it's her. Then the photos surface. TMZ gets them first grainy paparazzi shots of us kissing outside my apartment building. The headlines are brutal. Influencer Lila Carter's secret girlfriend exposed. Lila's lesbian love affair rocks social media. From straight to gay, Lila Carter's shocking transformation. My phone starts ringing at 6 a.m. and doesn't stop. Reporters, bloggers, gossip sites, everyone wants a statement, a quote, a piece. Of the story, I ignore them all and call Lila. I'm sorry, I say as soon as she picks up. I'm so sorry. I never wanted this to happen. I know, she says, and she sounds tired. My manager's been screaming at me for hours. Apparently, I've destroyed my brand, my career, my future. Maybe we should... No, she interrupts. No, we shouldn't. I'm done hiding, Taylor. I'm done pretending to be someone I'm not. But your career will survive or it won't, she says. But I can't keep living a lie. Not anymore. There's a long pause, and I can hear her breathing on the other end of the line. I need to see you, she says finally. The paparazzi, I don't care about the paparazzi. I care about you. When I open my door, Lila is standing there in jeans and a t-shirt, no makeup, her hair pulled back in a messy bun. She looks nothing like the polished influencer from her Instagram feed, and everything like the woman I've fallen in love with. Hi, she says softly. Hi. She steps inside and closes the door behind her. I deactivated my accounts. I stare at her. What? Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everything? I posted one last message and then deleted it all. Lila, no. You can't. That's your livelihood, your entire career. My entire life, she corrects. And I'm tired of living it for other people. She takes my hands in hers, and I can feel her trembling. I know this is scary, she says. I know I'm asking you to step into a world that's going to scrutinize every move we make. But I can't do this without you. Do what? Build something real, something that's ours. I look at her, really look at her, and I see everything I've been afraid to want. Someone who's willing to risk everything for authenticity. Someone who's chosen me over the safety of pretense. What if it doesn't work, I ask. Then at least we'll know we tried. What if people hate us? Then we'll find better people. What if we lose everything? Then we'll build something new, she says, and her voice is steady now. Together. I kiss her then, and it tastes like possibility and terrifying freedom. When we break apart, she's smiling, the first real smile I've seen from her in weeks. So what now? I ask. Now we figure it out as we go, she says. I've got some money saved, and you've got your business. We don't need the internet to validate our relationship, but your career will evolve, she says. Maybe I'll write a book. Maybe I'll start a podcast. Maybe I'll go back to school and become a therapist. The point is, I get to choose now. We get to choose. Over the next few weeks, I watch Lila transform. Without the constant pressure of content creation, she's lighter, more present. She helps me with my business, bringing a creative eye and strategic thinking that I never knew I needed. The media attention is intense at first think pieces about authenticity in the age of social media, speculation about her sexuality, analysis of her brand suicide. But eventually, the internet moves on to the next scandal, the next controversy, the next shiny object. Some of her former followers track her down, expressing support and understanding. Others are cruel, calling her a fraud, a fake, a sellout. She reads none of it. I spent years measuring my worth by likes and comments. She tells me one evening as we're cooking dinner in her apartment, I'm not going back to that. 6 months later, we're on a plane to Bali. Lila's idea is she wants to see the world without, documenting it to experience beauty without feeling compelled to share it. Are you sure about this? I ask as we settle into our seats. We could still go back. You could rebuild your following, get back into the game. She takes my hand and squeezes it. The game is rigged, baby. I'd rather play by our own rules. I look at her tanned from our weekend trips to the beach, wearing a sundress she bought at Target, her hair in a braid I taught her how to do, and I can't imagine her any other way. I love you, I say, and it's the first time I've said it. Without fear, I love you too, she replies, stains and all. A year later, I'm sitting in a coffee shop in New Bed, working on my laptop while Lila sketches in a notebook beside me. She started drawing again, something she gave up when she became an influencer because it didn't photograph well. My business is thriving. Turns out helping someone authentically rebrand their entire life is excellent marketing for a digital agency. I have more clients than I can handle, all wanting to know how to be more real online. Lila is writing a book about her experience, not a memoir, but a guide for people trying to find authenticity in a curated world. She's also consulting with brands about genuine influencer partnerships, helping them understand the difference between performance and presence. Do you ever miss it? I ask her one evening as we're watching the sunset from our hotel balcony. The followers, the validation, the constant performance, all of it. She considers this, sipping her wine. I miss the simplicity of it sometimes, the clear metrics of success. But I don't miss feeling like I was disappearing into a character. Even if it meant financial security. We're financially secure now. She points out, just differently. She's right. We're not Instagram rich, but we're comfortable. More importantly, we're happy. Besides, she adds, pulling me closer, I'd rather have a real life with you than a fake one with millions of strangers. Sometimes I think about that morning a year and a half ago, when I was just a struggling marketing consultant running late for a meeting. If I hadn't been rushing, if I hadn't been looking at my phone, if I hadn't spilled coffee on a stranger's dress, would I have ever found the courage to build something real? The truth is, I was living a curated life too. Maybe not with millions of followers, but with carefully constructed dreams and safe choices and the constant fear of taking up too much space in the world. Meeting Lila, really meeting her, beyond the brand and the image, showed me that authenticity isn't about being perfect. It's about being brave enough to be messy, to make mistakes, to spill coffee on expensive dresses and fall in love with complicated people. The influencer world is still there, still churning out content and chasing trends and selling dreams to people who are hungry for connection. But we're not part of it anymore. We're building something smaller, more intimate, more real. And you know what? Some stains are permanent. Thank God for that.